When I got out of the military, I had a hard time translating my military experience into the civilian world. I'll be honest with you, if it wasn't for my wife, I probably would have been that homeless or impoverished vet. But it can be easier with the right support. I'm Mark Casper, and I'm the Executive Director of Tech for Troops. In today's world, you have to have a computer to be able to apply for jobs. Our mission is to empower veterans in need with computers and training to get back in the workforce.
Here at Tech for Troops, we're here to push you forward to get you back to where you want to be in life. When the veterans come in, I teach them everything you could think of that's done with a computer. I want them to feel that this is a tool that's going to help them get their life back.
I went into a kind of a deep depression. Eventually, I lost my job and I was out on the street. The computer was able to connect me to the web, and I was able to start putting resumes out. And you have to have these small building blocks to get from point A to point B. I'm not worried about employment anymore.
The need is great, and we want to be able to support our veterans across the nation.
All right, welcome everybody to the Tech for Troops Cup Series Season 4 opener here at Daytona. I am Rick Souza with IWM here with my broadcast partner John DeRudris. And John, we are in for a doozy.
We are. It is race 1 of the 2024 season, and there's no better way to start off with racing at the World Center of Racing, Daytona International Speedway. We got 100 laps for you all tonight. A incredibly large field here. We're not going to give the exact number now. We want to show you that once that starts to come on board. But this is our first race of this season with the Tech for Troop Cup Series. I can't wait to get back started with this series. And Rick, I think it's going to be a good one. We have a lot of good drivers, a lot of talent, and we're at the point where the level of playing field is fairly similar. We have some big names. We have obviously Colin Garrett joining in, but Rick, the playing field is very level compared to the season number 1.
Oh, absolutely. And with 55 entries, it cannot get any more packed than that for a series opener. So we're hoping, that we see some great racing as we've come to expect over the years with these guys. We'll do our best to bring it to you. I don't think we've ever broadcasted a race where we've had 55 entries, but it's always a first time.
Always a first time for sure. I think it's going to be a good one. I think it's going to be electric, so definitely stay tuned. Right now, we're in the middle of qualifying right now with all of these cars on the track.
So this was just one lap of qualifying, so we're hope that we'll bring that to you. We do know that after that last update, the folks at SDK who bring us our feeds and our graphics are running a little bit behind here, so we will hope to be able to have information for you at least once when the race starts, but it may be a little bit delayed in getting it to you.
Yeah, it just comes with the field size. This is probably the biggest field that we have had on a broadcast. But enough talking about that. Let's talk about specifically what we have going on here tonight. This is our season opener, 100 laps, 3 sets of tires, 50% fuel, 3 green-white checkers, and the most important aspect of this race is going to be the fact that there are no quick repairs, Rick. That is going to play a major role, especially with the field size of what we have. 50 cars, no quick repairs. How do you navigate it? How do you navigate the field?
You've got to be cautious. You have to be cautious about how you run. You need to think about whether I'm going to drop back a bit. It's 100 laps. You've only got 50% fuel, so you will have to pit multiple times. But what it comes down to, though, is you've got to be aware, your situational awareness of where you're at in compared to others is going to be critical.
Very critical, and it's going to, I think we're going to see a lot of drivers drop to the back. I think it's going to be similar to what you see some of the more veteran guys do. They drop to the back knowing it's a long race. They don't want to get caught up in the middle of anything.
All right, so I guess at this point the field has finished qualifying. I don't know if we've got those qualifying results as of yet. We'll try to bring those to you. I do know that right now there's a 5-minute warm-up that we've now added in for this, at least for this race, to try and get things situated. Also, it gives the drivers a chance and the administrators of the race to actually speak with the drivers themselves and let them know what's going on. So if I can bring up the grid, that will give us some time to kind of call it out. Again, we've got 55 drivers. A lot of them are new names, and we're probably going to butcher a few. So if we make a mistake with your favorite driver, I'm sorry, we'll do our best. So it doesn't look like we'll be able to bring up the grid until after this 5-minute warm-up session is done.
No worries.
But we'll still give you some information. So this is a new season. Some new noise here as part of WM and the Tech for Troops Cup Series is Tech for Troops has renewed their sponsorship of this league for 3 years, and we are just could not be more humbled by their trust in our organization and how much we believe in theirs. And so just a great partnership with Tech for Troops. And also we've got a new sponsor, Goat Racing, has come on board as a sponsor as well, and they've got some great things that they want to do and bring to the league as well. So we'll be updating you as we as those things flesh out and update you as to what's happening in the league. So we appreciate all of you who have tuned in for another season of Tech for Troops. We just ask that you like and subscribe and stay up to date as to what happens and the comings and goings.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Excited that we have Tech for Troops on again. Great organization. If you haven't already, you have to go check them out. They do great work within the veteran community and within the technology side of things. So go check them out. At the top of the screen, you can see techfortroops.org. That is tech4, troops.org. Right now, Rick, looking at what we got, 100 laps, 50% fuel, you're going to have to come down probably 2-3 times. And thinking about this, I think right now, teamwork is going to be the name of the game here. We have some pretty big teams. We actually have some teams that we had to split into Team 1 and Team 2. A couple teams that are doing that. So what do you think? Do you think it's going to be – I think it's going to be a team game all day. Do you think it's going to be a team game or every man for himself?
Well, here it's just like any other super speedway, you got no choice. If it isn't a team of an actual team and a teammate, it's going to be teammate of of just who's there, who's available, because one car can't make it around as fast as two, nor as fast as three. So you're going to need 2 or 3 partners just to get around to keep up with the leaders. So you got no choice.
Correct. Yep, I completely agree. Right now we got a little under a minute, I believe, until we go live. Checking the time. Yep, just about a minute left until we get this grid up here for the Tech for Troop Cup Series season opener.
Yep, and again, we're doing our best to hopefully that the the graphics gods and folks in the truck can keep this this production together here. We're just running a little bit behind with our graphics than what's happening actually. So once we go into the actual event, I'm sure it'll clear itself up. But John, looking forward to it. It's been a while. We've got this, and tomorrow night we've got the opener for the iNASCAR League here on Thursday night. So back to back here at IWM.
It's going to be fun. I can't wait to be a part of that series as well. They've been a great league to broadcast, so partnering with them again and bringing them all races that they have going on, it's going to be fantastic. So if you enjoyed tonight, come back tomorrow. It'll be a fun one as well. And looking right now, we just got finished up. As you see the cars start to disappear, we're about to find out who's going to sit on the pole for tonight's season opener for the Tech for Troop Cup Series here at the World Center of Racing.
All right, we're kind of looking forward to this. Let's hopefully get a reset on our graphics and everything comes up. Bear with us, folks, as we deal with the graphics. Oh, and imagine that. There it is. It's alive. Okay, take it away, John.
Look at that. Absolutely. So, your starting order for tonight's Tech for Troop and Goat Racing Diecast season opener. And on pole, Mr. Ty Bostic in the 22 machine. Starting in second, Doug Lockrow, a new debut rookie here for the Tech for Troop Cup Series. And third, James Lowe. Fourth, Jeff Nairn. Fifth, Zach Ward. Sixth, Ryan Pittman. William Mann Jr. starting in seventh. John Ledger starting in eighth. Garrett Johnston starting in ninth. And Alonzo King Jr. rounding out your top 10.
Craig Meyer in 11th. Evan Amick is sitting in 12th. And 13th, Mike Slagter on the outside, the 47 of Kane Vandermark. Luke Bullard is in 15th. Mark Hanna in 16th. Sean Skytman in 17th. Travis Murgaard is sitting in 18th. David Clayman in 19th. And Chris Worrell is in 20th.
In 21st, you have Josh Kelleher. In 22nd, you have Ryan Walter. 23rd is going to be Ethan Thompson, with Pete Woodrum starting in the 24th position. In 25th, Derek Cook. Ryan Andrews starting right out to his outside in the 26th position. Colin Garrett, yes, familiar name. That is the Colin Garrett starting at 27th, with Freddie Durstock Jr., or Senior, rather, starting in 28th. Lilith Peters starting in 29th, and Ian Ogden in 30th.
31st, Jesse Vaughn. 32nd, Philip Vandertwick. 33rd, Marco Berube. 34th, Zach Allen. 35th, Jeremy Flanagan, and Austin Habel is in 36th. 37th is Justin Horton. 38th, David Watts. 39th, Jeff Neeney. 40th, Brian Johnson.
In 41st, you have Mr. Bobby Gibson. In 42nd, Harley Barletta. 43rd, Aaron Jackson. 44th, Cody Sturgill. 45th, Christoph Hall. And 46th, you have Sammy Harrell. And 47th, you have Maurice Burnett. And to his outside, Charles Van Scoik. And in 49th, we have Ryan D. Cook. I'm going to finish this off, Rick, because we're about to go to green. Nathan Harper in 50th. Doucette, Jamie Dunning, Brad Slabel, Roddy Uberpacker, David P. Sharon, and Zachary Groover rounds out, yes, your 56-car field.
Yeah.
Rick?
Yeah.
Any wise words for anybody who's going to be a part of this?
Nope.
Because I have nothing.
Nothing. I got nothing.
Yeah, well.
Good luck, everybody. We'll do our best to call it. And the green flag has flown, starting the Tech for Troops Series Season 4 here on the IWM Broadcast Network.
56 cars, I can't even believe I'm saying that, make their way down into turn 1. You have some cars starting from pit road. I do not blame them, as you have the 22 of Ty Bostic to the inside and to his outside. You have the 41 machine. You can't make any moves. You got to ride around at this point. 56 cars, 100 laps. Nothing you can do at this point, but you're starting to see some formations form already. Basically, you have about a 20-car pack and then a second pack about half a second back already.
So there's been a lot of changes here on iRacing with this package. Even the latest updates came out, and they made some aerodynamic changes to these cars. So, in the past, getting out here on these super speedways, it was relatively, I'm not going to say easy, but it wasn't difficult to keep this car pointing straight, even in a pack. That has changed a bit. They've added another tweak to aero that makes it a little bit more difficult, more challenging, more realistic for these drivers, and you're seeing it here tonight.
You definitely are, as Ty Bostic has now gone to the high side. You're starting to see what you typically see here at super speedways: 2 lines forming. Daytona, it's more common to see 2 lines. Talladega, you'll see 3, sometimes 4 if people want to take that risk. But at the start, you can see NB2 Motorsports there with Bostic. You got his teammate, the 27, right behind him. They had strong runs in the playoffs last year. And looking at the top right, that's a great indicator of where the entire field is. You can see it's spread out, almost a full straightaway now between the front of the pack and the back of the pack. So a lot of different strategies playing out here. Only 3 laps in, but again, you're only 3 laps into a 100-lap race. Don't want to fall too far behind, as some of these guys are. They're basically almost about to enter the tri-oval, as the 18 is leading that furthest pack.
Yeah, I think that that's probably the group that came out of the pits, and they're trying to work their way back. That's Aaron Jackson, Cody Sturgill, Christoph Hall, Semi Harrell, Maurice Burnett, Charles Van Scoik, I think Ryan Cook. That group of guys, they chose, we're just going to start in the pits. We've seen that happen before. That's probably the safest way to start. Right now, you've got the 41 of Doug Lockrow showing out front. He is currently showing in the lead. James Lowe in the 07 behind him. The 7 of Zach Ward is right there as well. That outside line, you've got the 22 of Ty Bostic up there. And he's got, I believe, the 27 of Jeff Nairn right behind him. Kind of working on and giving him a good push.
He does, and right behind him you have Mr. Ryan Pittman. He can get it done almost any track. And he's that kind of driver that just rides around, just wants to hang out, see what he's got going on in the car. And looking right behind him, you have the 80 of Alonzo King. We know Alonzo King is aggressive. Car up in the wall, I believe, off of turn 2. All good, but Alonzo King is pushing the 08, trying to get him back up to the back bumper of that 27 machine of Jeff Nairn. But you're starting to see, we've seen as the seasons have gone on, drivers that are typically up in the front. And if you look at it where it is right now, you have Jeff Nairn, you have Ty Bostic, you have Ryan Pittman, you have some newcomers, obviously, at the front with the 41 machine of Doug Lockrow. And right behind him, you have James Lowe and Zachary Ward. Zach Ward's been up at the front, but so a little bit of a mix, but you see Ledger there as well, right behind him. And William Mann Jr., great season last season, progressed a lot. A mixed field as of late. But Rick, hey, we're 6 laps in. And I got to say, with a 56-car field, they're doing pretty good. Keeping it clean, keeping the room between the drivers. So a great start to this 100-lap event.
Absolutely. Yep. And, we have not had a caution. That's a great way to start. It is Daytona. Big things can happen fast, especially when you're pack racing like this. And so far, so good.
So far, so good. That is the motto as of now. Rick, I would like to... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say I would like to just show appreciation to everybody who's tuned in so far, and just got to say at the end of the race you will see the interviews. Well, not see, you will listen to the interviews rather of the top 3 finishers. So we have oftentimes people don't realize that we actually interviewed the top 3, the podium guys. So stick around to the end. You may get to see and hear your favorite driver interviewed if they finish in the top 3. So Rick, go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say a couple of new names up front. Doug Lockrow, this is new to season 4 here in the Tech for Troops series, as well as James Lowe in the 07 behind him. Those again are new names here in the Tech for Troops Cup Series. So that's in the top 10. So that's 1 and 2. Zach Ward, familiar name. John Ledger, William Mann Jr., Ty Boston, Garrett Johnston, and Alonzo King, and then Craig Meyer. So we're seeing some new names. And with a long race season, we'll hopefully get a chance to interview with these guys and get a chance to know them a little bit better.
Most definitely. And Rick, I've started to notice you're starting to see this first pack kind of come together a little bit more now. A little loose off the turn 4 there. Not sure who that was.
Well, I'll tell you, in broadcasting a couple other races on this track, I have noticed that there is some snap off of 2 and 4 with these cars. So
definitely, I've witnessed it and had it happen to myself. Turn 4 with the aero package and with the air coming off the car in front of you, you can go around, and you got to be careful with how that plays out when it comes to your race. Right now, we have 2 very distinct packs formed. We have about a pack of, let's call it 9 cars right there, and then you have another pack of about 10 to 15, about 20th and 21st on back. That is currently 7 seconds behind the leaders. So 2 very distinct packs formed right now.
Yeah, jumping back to that second pack, it's led by the 69 of Colin Garrett. Just saw a car in the wall a little bit earlier on the outside there. Easy to do here.
That was Austin Habel in the 6 machine.
So that's
Colin. Looks like
Garrett.
He was getting.
He was in the wall, John?
It looks like, going back and looking at the replay, not sure who was behind Mr. Habel. He got pushed from behind into the wall, just a off-centered push. Nobody else involved, but a hard right-side impact for the 6 of Austin Habel.
Gotcha. Well, we'll see that here for sure. As these guys begin to spend some time racing with each other and learning each other's racing styles. Jumping back up front, our leader has not changed. Doug Lockrow and James Lowe are still out in front. But one thing I want to talk about briefly is the fact that we have added a new associate sponsor here for the Tech for Troops Cup Series, and that is Goat Racing Diecast. And so what Goat Racing Diecast does, and we'll get their website so you can go check it out. They've got some discount codes, and as we go further in the broadcast, we'll get you some information. If you're a collectible person, if you like to collect diecast cars, their site has those, and there are some discounts that are available to you during tonight's broadcast.
Absolutely, go check them out. Got some great items available. Huge selection of drivers as well.
All right, so if you're curious to say, hey, where can I find that? Go to GoatRacingDiecast.com. That's just as it sounds, GoatRacingDiecast.com.
And Rick, I'm watching the second pack on back here. Turn 4 is nasty. I just watched about 5 cars get loose out of turn 4. It's treacherous. Especially, it looks like if you're the first car, if you're the 3rd or 4th car on the bottom row, something with this air is absolutely affecting how these cars drive. And as you see, the 24 machine there.
So I see the 99 of Marco.
Oh, we're wrecking in the back. Got the wreck.
Yellow flag is out.
Hey, we're 1 for 1. We caught it again.
Was it Justin Horton that was involved? Who was? I don't know who brought that out, but I'm going to try and go back and take a quick peek.
That was the 81 machine. I've never seen net code so bad in my 10 years of being on this software, on this platform, on this simulator.
So let's go back.
Rick,
That's Harley Barletta.
Yep. I mean, wow. My bad. It was Harley Barletta, the 81 machine.
All right, let's play this here at regular speed. Oh my gosh. There was nothing there.
Now, I mean, could that be a tire blown? I mean, I know I'm just fetching for anything here, but I have never seen that before. I've never seen a car. I mean, it looked like he got turned by air.
All right, we just turned on to quarter speed to get a feel to see if there's anything. Let's take another. Look at this and see if there's a better way to. Let's go. We're watching the 81 car in the center. There's nobody around him. There's a lane up top and a lane down the bottom. Nothing.
Wow. My only guess, and tough hit for the 39. My only guess is the 17 slightly moved up the track, and with 56 cars, it could have thought that he was, it was a net code. But I've never seen that before, Rick.
No,
ever.
Never.
And also on my end, I was looking at each individual suspension camera that we have available to see if maybe he blew a tire. All 4 tires are up and running even after the spin. So not too sure what happened. Tough break for the 81 of Harley Barletta.
Wow. All right, so on that note, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We will be right back. Bear with us and stay tuned. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network.
Are you looking for a way to safely and securely dispose of your old electronic devices? Why not donate them to Tech for Troops? Tech for Troops is a 501c3 nonprofit dedicated to bridging the technology gap for in-need veterans and their families. The donation process is quick and easy. Simply go to techfortroops.org and click on the donate link at the top right-hand side of the page. Scroll down to access the Give Back Box link. To create your shipping label, click Add to Cart and complete the checkout process. The shipping label is good for up to 50 pounds. You can recycle most standard shipping boxes to send in your devices. Oh, don't forget the power cords. Give new life to your old technology by responsibly recycling with Tech for Troops. Help save the environment and support a veteran.
All right, welcome back to the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series Season 4 opener here at Daytona. Thank you for tuning in to the race tonight. We are under caution for a iRacing incident involving Harley Barletta. No idea how to explain what happened, but it did, and now we're getting set to go back to green. A number of drivers came back down onto pit road to fill back up for fuel. They had some quick stops there, and the lights are off on our pace car. That means we are going back to green flag. But really bizarre incident. No idea how to explain it other than it happened.
It happened, all right. I've never seen anything like that ever. quite shocking if you ask me.
Yep. So before we go back to Green Flag Racing, as we were alluding to prior to that incident, if you are a diecast collectible guy or just interested, if you go to goatracingdiecast.com, they have a 30% off all orders over $50. And if you put in the code GOAT Racing, all cap, all one word, and then add on 43 towards the end, for example, that's Sammy Harrell's number, and that is a great way to get some discounts on what you're looking at. So somebody has chimed in and did state that it may be that iRacing is struggling with the amount of entries in the race. It certainly is possible.
That's my guess. That's all I got to say.
That's the best answer we have at this point. So.
Yep. And also, Race Control just extended the caution for one more lap to get some things clarified in the back of the fields. So, 1 to green, this time by.
It does not surprise me. Again, with a field of this size, it's sometimes hard to get caught back up and to get your place on the track.
Well, I think we just proved that we can do it. There can be 56 cars on the track at one time at NASCAR. Increase the field size.
Yeah. Yeah.
I say that with much sarcasm added on the back end, I promise. But, I mean, it was still clean. I mean, we were clean up until that incident that we just had that had no, driver effect at all. It wasn't an actual, incident. It was an issue with iRacing. So, kudos to the drivers. We're 17 laps into this 100-lap event. And so far, I'm not going to consider that an actual caution. I don't think that's fair on these drivers. So, hey, we broke a trend, though, Rick. We did break a trend.
17 laps. You are correct.
So that's our new trend for 2024, 17. Speaking of the 07 and the 7, that has nothing to do with the number 17. They are both leading the field, actually. James Lowe and Zach Ward. Zach Ward has been a part of this league for a little while, and James Lowe is a newcomer. So new faces making their way up back through the field to the 06. Chris Worrell is back, as well as some newcomers, Doug Lockrow, Garrett Johnston, and some other seasoned vets, Jeff Nairn, Ryan Pittman, Van Mark, and Slatker. Round out your top 10. Can't forget about Ty Bostic as well.
All right, we're about to go back to Green Flag Racing Field that's kind of formed up. It's that low line that out by the yellow is a long line.
Yes, it is. And we are back to Green Flag Racing here at Daytona International Speedway. The 07 wastes no time getting back up to the front. I don't blame him, as this 56-car field is fairly bunched up as we go into turn 1. You see the 06 of Chris Worrell giving the 7 a nice shove, but here comes Ty Bostic now to the back bumper of the 07 as both lines start to form.
Anytime we have a restart, there's always an opportunity for an incident to occur, and so we try to keep an eye back through the field as we kind of scroll back through these drivers. Number of them sporting new colors this season.
Great paint scheme lineup this year. We got some throwbacks. We got some custom schemes. We have some actually sponsored cars. So pretty cool to see all these awesome schemes we got on the track tonight. And the new leader, we have Chris Worrell is at the top of the board in the 06 machine, followed by the 07 and the 22.
The 06 of Chris Worrell is out in front. There is an outside line starting to form up. That looks like the 08 of Ryan Pittman leading that outside line. They got a great run off of 4.
They are definitely trying. Absolutely.
Yep.
The leader's going 194. Ryan Pittman's going about 195 right now. They're slowly making their way up, but that's what it takes. He got Mr. Bullard behind him, and then you have the 84 machine right behind Bullard. That is Jesse Vaughn, repping the Family Dollar paint scheme. Or Dollar Tree, actually. Dollar Tree.
Taking a quick peek back, you've got the 08 of Ryan Pittman. You've got the 3 of Luke Bullard behind him. That's that outside line beginning to warm up solidly.
Yeah, they're slowly making their way up there. The more cars that start to move up to that high side, you're going to start to see that outside lane really start to get up to the front and battle this 06 car.
So we've got 28 drivers in that front pack. Now heading to the next group, that's Ethan Thompson in the 25. He's got Ryan Walter, Jeff Manee, Freddie Durstock, and looks to be Brian Johnson there in that group. And then the third pack sets up a little bit farther back, headed by John Ledger and Mark Hanna. That's David Clayman behind them. And behind David is the 73 of Josh Keller.
You see the
contact with the wall.
Yeah, definitely happening for sure. And you can see the differentiating strategies. You know, you have the Fords and kind of partnering together. You can see some allegiance starting to happen, and the Chevys typically are together, and they're distinct packs. So this is where we are, 22 out of 100 laps into this race. Let's see if we can go right along with, let's try to do a Chevy, maybe a Ford, if we're able to get behind some of these camera angles here and see what these guys are looking at 190 miles an hour around Daytona International Speedway.
All right, let's jump in with Zach Ward.
He's letting off the gas there. The RPM's going down and back up, and that's the battle you play here at Daytona and super speedways. When to lift, when to get back on the gas, when to make your move.
Yeah, you can actually
you
can hear that driver making those adjustments.
Exactly, and you're about to see the 08 machine start to peak up there in that top lane. Let's see, Rick, if we can maybe switch over to the 08 machine as he's now leading the line side of this track.
All right, that's the side from the 08 of Ryan Pittman. There was an incident, I think, that David P. Sharon may have gone off track or has crashed.
Yep, on the back. I think you're right. He has stopped on the back stretch. Nope, nothing going on there.
Now these guys are
on the racing surface.
All right, these guys are about to run up on someone. Let's change.
That is, who is that?
I see the 16. I think that is David Sharon. He's
it is,
16.
and the other car is Alonzo King of the 80 right in front of him. So these leaders are going to catch these two cars very, very fast, and this could cause some chaos. You have multiple lanes being formed right now. Not sure what the 16 is going to do. 16 is going to stay to the high side, and you may see some 3-wide action, Rick. Here we go. 3-wide. Trying to get around this lapped car. He is basically keeping himself up high against that wall. He is now against the wall. One taps into 77. 77 is a little loose. He keeps it straight, though. And here's the Alonzo King machine. I believe that's Alonzo getting lapped. Oh, 24 got into the 80 a little bit. 24 on the lead lap. And Alonzo King, as they battle 3-wide, Alonso's now up against the wall.
Oh, a little bit of a bobble, but he caught it. That's the 1 right there as well. I think that was Pete Woodrum. Alonso has settled right in front of the 11. That's Joey Doucette. All right, our first challenge as these guys survive that bit of lap traffic. Oh, a little contact with the wall there as well. That green car.
I believe that's Jesse Vaughn.
Jesse Vaughn. That would be the 84. That is the 84. Again, as we were talking about earlier, this track's different. It's not the same as it has been. And, you know, with 50 plus entries on this track, it's so easy to make a mistake.
It's tough. It really is tough to navigate this 2.5 mile super speedway, especially with the new air packages that they have on these cars. It's very aero sensitive off corners, so you've got to be careful. And as you see the field approaching, Harley Barletta looks like he's going to stay to the bottom side as the field decides to go around him in the middle and the high lane. Everybody's able to navigate fairly smoothly around that 81 machine, but that's another playoff contender having issues. One lap down from last season.
Yeah, Harley got caught up in that that incident in that brought out that first caution. It really wasn't about Harley. Can't say exactly what happened, unfortunately, to him, but
we're wrecking. Big wreck.
See the 72.
Oh, he just got hit. That's the 72 machine of Jeremy Flanagan. Caution is out. Maybe be hearing the 5 is involved in this. Maybe the car. Here and seeing what's going on here with these guys. Let's see if we can back this one up and see what happened. Our second caution of the night on lap 29. Whoa, they were wrecking way before turn 4. Okay, so that is the 15 in the middle. Yeah.
Let's get behind the. Oh, let's try this from here.
So that's the 72 machine of Jeremy Flanagan. The
15's right
bottom.
In between Eric. I guess that's Evan Amick down below. So it's like the 15 tags the right, and again a little bit of net code there with the 72. That brings in Skypeman and the 24 of Allen.
Yep.
Wow.
And then you have another hit right here from the 28, I believe. Was that the 28? I couldn't tell.
Well, a little bit of good news for the 15 and the 24. They're the winners of this week's Scheme Skirmish on the Speedway.
All right.
There you go. It's a good way to make up for being in a wreck. How's it going, Jason?
It goes wonderfully. Delighted to be back here with you guys. Season 4. I couldn't be more excited. And we've got some big stuff planned with you guys and just growing Tech for Troops itself. I'm extremely excited.
So are we, Jason. We were just talking about it earlier. It just has been an absolute thrill to have Tech for Troops sign on, really for the foreseeable future as our primary sponsor. So we're looking forward to it. As the competitors now are working their way down onto pit road, a good bit have already come out, but some are back in, picking up additional fuel. And this. And like we've talked about before on this track, it's not about tires as much as it's fuel.
I did want to say, before I leave you guys to the rest of the race, this coming season, we're going to have a lot of opportunities for different designs and maybe some extra events that we'll be doing with IWM and looking into different companies with which to mutually support. So if you get tapped on the shoulder, or if you're interested in being tapped on the shoulder for some of these design opportunities, I already have a few guys that are on my short list now, but you can always contact Tech for Troops in the IWM Discord, and I'd be happy to get the opportunity to work with you.
That sounds great. That's Jason Parker with Tech for Troops as part of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. They take an active and they're fully engaged. Very often you see folks that sponsor events like this in iRacing that just lend a name or a logo. But here, Tech for Troops takes an active role in the relationship and what happens each and every week. And you'll hear Jason's voice often here on our broadcast. All right, we are on lap 31. The light is off on top of our pace car. This is our second caution of the event for an incident that happened a little bit farther back in the pack, but unfortunately did collect a number of drivers. And so here you are, John. You've got this huge field you find yourself in. You've got no quick repair. What do you do?
Well, there's only two spots I would like to be. Up front or all the way in the back. Because at least I can control at least a little bit about what happens. If I'm in the front, I can just keep myself out there and not have to worry about anybody behind me unless that's the car directly behind me who's pushing. And if I'm in the back, I have enough room to navigate through the eventual chaos that's about to ensue. So being in the middle of this pack is probably the most treacherous, but cars have to do it. You have to be there. It's a matter of super speedway racing. So with 69 laps to go, I would be, if not in the front, 2 rows, I'd want to make my way onto the back and just wait it out and then make a move at the end and hopefully dodge all the chaos. So.
Well, I think that that's probably the best answer at this point, because you just never know. You're between what potentially could happen and the fact that you're around some folks that you may not have driven around before. Everything is critical. So here we are, about to go back to green.
Yep. 31-32 right now, with Mr. Ty Bostic leading the field. Green flag back out in the air here at Daytona International Speedway for the Tech for Troop Cup Series season opener. And you see the two dropping right down behind the 22 machine. And for clarification purposes, the 2 machine that is right behind the 22 is actually
the 47.
The 47, yes, on the tower. Kane Vandemark. So if you see that up at the top, on our towers or above on the top scrolling results, he is actually the 47 machine there. So the 2 car on the track on his paint scheme. Right now, big wiggle out of the top lane there. That is the 20. Garrett Johnson getting pushed by Mike Slacker in the 14. We know Mike's aggressive. Mike wants to get up to the front, not running a typical, I believe, was it Mountain Dew or Monster Energy? One of the 2 he always used to run in that 14, but he's there in the top lane pushing that iconic number 20 that Tony Stewart made popular.
So yeah, as you can see, as you're coming off of coming off of 4, off of 2, there is definitely a snap, that little wiggle that's there, and especially if you're in traffic, it just exasperates it. So drivers have got to have their hands on the wheel. We're looking forward to anticipate that little bit of wiggle that will happen.
Absolutely. And it looks like it's happening when these packs are a little bit tighter and you may be getting a little bit of a push behind you. That was pretty smooth that time. Oh, maybe you're not wrecking in the back. Saw cars in the grass, and caution's out. Caution is out.
Zach Hoover was involved. A lot of smoke to look through from that camera. There's still.
Oh, that's Cody Sturgill. Yeah, we got to dissect out Jeff Nene.
Jeff Nene, Charles Van Scoik, Aaron Jackson, Cody Sturgill, Zach Groover. Let's go back and Let's back this up because it's a lot going on.
So,
Oh yeah, there's a lot happening here.
yeah, we gotta dissect this
So
whole
we're
pack.
3 wide. Let's back it up even farther. Bear with us here, folks. We're not going to take too much time, but let's go back. All right, that seems like a little bit farther back, but we're going to let this run through at regular speed. Yep.
Looked like netcode, but it was gonna happen anyways.
Trying to get back up to see just who that was. That
was the 31 and the 15, I believe.
is that
Maybe not the
Sammy
15.
Harrell?
So you're on Charles Van Scoik right
There
now.
we
That's
go.
Sammy Harrell, the 43.
Yep. Let's just back it up just a tiny little
And
bit.
the 18
Yeah. So
is right in front of him.
Yep. So the 31 and the 18 get together.
Definitely was going to happen anyways, but net code on that. They get right in front of the Lucas Oil machine of Bobby Gibson. Now, what happens after this, I don't know. We have to look back because Sammy Harrell's clear of the issue. Oh, there it is.
28.
Bobby gets in the right rear. Yep.
Yep. That collects a lot more drivers.
Oh, then just accordions. The accordion effect happens. Nowhere to go. And you're looking at almost 10 plus cars, and here's Jeff Nene way back.
31 still low. There's debris on the track. Alonzo King dropping below. And I'm not sure Jeff just didn't see this. These guys are wrecking on the track.
Oh, huh. It was just the 40 didn't know the 80 was coming up, and the 80 didn't know that the 40 was going down. So,
well, unfortunately, well, lap 36 is in the books, and we had just a little bit of a wreck at the back of the pack.
little tussle. But hey, we have 56 cars on the track. It's gonna happen, you know.
Absolutely. All right, so back up front, you've got Chris Worrell, Jesse Vaughn, James Lowe, Colin Garrett, Ian Ogden, Pete Woodrum, Ty Bostic, Kane Vandermark, Jeff Narron, and Zach Ward. That is your top 10. Third caution of the night, 36 laps are in the books.
And Rick, I'm going to ask you the same question you asked me. What would you do if you were in this race right now? What would your strategy be? You know, knowing you have about 60 laps to go.
I'm staying out of trouble. I am trying to stay at the back of that lead pack or at the head of that middle pack, but I don't want to lose the lead. I don't want to lose the draft, but I definitely don't want to put myself in jeopardy here because it's easy to make a mistake. You know, the amazing thing about this series with Tech for Troops is that the collection of drivers and their ratings and experiences are all over the board. You've got drivers here that have I ratings in the 5,000s, and then you've got guys who are down here in the 1,000, 1,200. So you got and if you're unfamiliar with that, how it plays out in iRacing, there is that is is an example of the experience of those drivers and how often they race. And so we've got a wide breadth of drivers, both not, I wouldn't say beginners, but certainly seasoned experts and seasoned racers.
Absolutely, and you know, I'm looking at the YouTube stream and gonna give a shout out to a couple people. You have Sammy Harrell and Christopher Howell tuning in on YouTube as well and driving. Deborah Keller, Monica Clayman, Mary Wise, E4 Mafia streaming, Paul Vosberg, Donna Tedder, and the Owl's Nest Sim Racing team. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you for everybody who's watching along. And we're about to go green flag racing. Green flag back in the air with the 06 and the 84 leading the way. Lap 38 of 100 complete here tonight. Thank you all for watching on YouTube. We appreciate it. If you haven't already, drop a like on broadcast, and we would love for you to subscribe so you don't miss another race here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series, as well as the iNASCAR Racing Series coming up on Thursday nights, as well as any other special events we have going on. We do special one-off events, often sometimes charity events as well, here on the IWM Broadcast Network.
So we're definitely seeing, John, some attrition. We've got a number of cars who have retired at this point due to the fact they were involved in earlier incidents. I think we're seeing at least six of those vehicles are no longer on the track. A number of them are still in the pits trying to get some repairs made.
Still trying to get some repairs made, because you never know what's going to happen. With 56 cars, you have no clue. And the big point about this is there is going to be points only awarded to 43 out of the 56. Just due to our point conditions within our league, we can only award 43 points due to our current rules. So we were not anticipating 56, so if you're in the back, you got to make your way up to the front, which honestly actually provides a little bit more of a level of excitement, because if you know you're in the back, you know you gotta get points. So as of now, we are only awarding points to 43 drivers, obviously for wins and caution on the track. Out in the back, way back, it looks like that's a 43 machine. The 31, a lot of different cars involved in this one. The 6.
It's like the 54 of David Watts was also involved. I think it was the 43 and the 54 who tangled up there. Let's just take a... Yep. That's what it was, unfortunately. Looks like just those two cars were involved. Sammy did a good job to avoid the pace car.
Very good job, but brings out our 4th caution of the night. And Rick, you know, I really don't want to say this.
Yeah, I know.
4 cautions, 41 laps. Trends never die. If you don't know what we're referring to, last season we had some races where, specifically super speedways, the average green flag lap run was about 10 laps, just due to the kind of racing we had. So a caution every 10 laps. And granted, I'm not going to count the first one as an actual caution. Can't help that with Harley Barletta, so only written 3. But its trends hold true here for the Tech for Troop Cup Series. Right now, though, 41 of 100 complete. You know, thinking about strategy-wise, you're starting to make those mid-race decisions to bring some of your team, if not your entire team, down pit road for what possibly could be the second to last stop before the end of this event, depending on fuel and cautions. Cautions actually help fuel out fairly well, and it looks like the majority of the top 15, the top 20 are on pit road. There's your leader as he made it way down pit road. It would be Chris Worrell, rather. And yeah, you have almost a whole field coming down.
Pretty pretty much that is a quick stop and go for fuel only as these drivers make their way back onto the track. Now that's going to put Ian Ogden now up in front. Now with that, Ian pitted last on lap 29, but he's surrounded by other members of race teams or affiliates with Jesse Vaughn, Colin Garrett, all right there with him. That should put an AJM team right up in front.
Absolutely it does.
Yep, I guess that's their second team, AJM2, will pretty much have the top 3 spots on this restart.
You know, that's the beauty of a field and what we have here at Tech for Troops. You can have multiple different teams, you know, AJM1, AJM2. They're technically all a part of the same team, but they have to separate just due to what we have when it comes to team championship points. So they can actually battle each other for the team championship, which does award at the end of the season.
Well, we're coming up to almost the halfway point. And, you know, what have we seen so far? I mean, obviously the big takeaway is just a huge field for our opening season, and that's just phenomenal. Just such tremendous interest in this organization. How this plays out over our next racing venues, we'll have to see as we go to smaller tracks, mile and a halves. This kind of field could prove to be challenging.
It can. I mean, if we have anything like a turnout that we do now at some of the tracks that aren't drafting tracks, it's going to be busy. It's going to be busy, especially when it comes to maybe a shorter track. I highly doubt we're going to get 56 cars around Bristol Motor Speedway or Richmond or Martinsville cleanly. So, you know, it's all going to happen with time, and it's going to be a very, very entertaining season. That's all I have to say. So if you're watching now, I would definitely stick around to the end. We had a great finale last season. It came down to the wire. So these drivers put in a lot of work, a lot of effort. And even though it is fixed setup, which means all these drivers run the same sets, it levels the playing field and really shows you who is the best driver at the end of the day. So right now, Rick, I'm excited for this season. That's all I got to say. It's going to be a good one.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it. All right, the field is back up together. About to come back and take the green flag. We currently show this 47 cars still on the lead lap.
Still incredible that we have that kind of number here at Daytona. You have 3 cars 1 lap down, and then 2 cars still in the single-digit lap down counters. So here we go. 43 out of 100 complete, coming to 44. Green flag back in the air for the 21 of Ian Ogden, who is inside. You have Jesse Vaughn, followed by Doug Lockrow, and the 69 of Colin Garrett to the inside. And thought we were wrecking in the back.
Yeah, a little bit of tapping on that retaining wall.
And that's going to happen.
Yellow flag is back out. Bobby Gibson has crashed.
Well, we have spoken too soon, Rick. There is the 28 machine of Bobby Gibson. Let's see what happened with that. Whoa. Well, my guess is he had a little bit of help.
You may have.
So that's 39.
Horton, is that Horton 39? Justin Horton.
Yep, in the 39 machine.
Unfortunately, Mr. Horton may not have been aware. but he came up off the apron and unfortunately tagged the inside of the 28. Okay, caution's back out. We almost made it.
And hey, I love this camera angle. You could get to see all the cars. It's very cinematic. Love all the camera angles here with the Tech for Troop Cup Series and the IWM Broadcast Network. Shout out to the camera guys. Camera guy, that is.
All right, we are at lap 45 here in the Tech for Troops Cup Series. We're going to take this opportunity to go to a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Hi, America. Mark Castro, President of Tech for Troops. I wanted to take a moment to say thank you for making 2023 such an amazing year. We completed our mission, and it feels good to have another successful year behind us. But I want to tell you, this year, 2024, is our 10th anniversary. 10 years of doing this mission, and you have been so supportive of us. So I want to take a moment to say, please continue to support us. We're going to have an event or more every month. Please stay tuned in our calendar. Please stay tuned on our social media. Join us in the celebration of our mission and what we do. And we look forward to seeing you and having your support for our mission of ending veteran homelessness through bridging the technology divide. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much.
All right, we're seeing our drivers come back down onto pit road. While we are under caution here. We've got the 052 of Brad Slagle, who is currently showing right now in first place. Jamie Dunning in the 42 is in second. James Lowe in third, Chris Worrell in fourth, Derek Cook in fifth. 6, Kane Vandermark, Joey Doucette is in seventh, Garrett Johnson in eighth. Ninth is Zach Ward, and Pete Woodrum shows in 10th. So close to
Rick,
the halfway point. Go ahead, John.
I was going to say, looking through this top 10, it's a wide open field. You have 3 newcomers, first through third. You have Chris Worrell back in here. You have a newcomer in fifth, Kane, Joey in sixth and seventh, and then Garrett Johnson, newcomer there. And so got a lot of new faces at the front of the field here.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've got about a third of the drivers are new. So that is fabulous for the league. And definitely good for us. We'll learn some new drivers, see some new faces, probably some new faces and names on the podium as this season fills out.
Absolutely, we will. Looks like we're about to get the green flag next time by.
Yep, field has formed back up pretty solidly. Again, thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast tonight of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. Again, season opener here at Daytona. 56 cars entered this race.
Still just absolutely wild to hear that. And we still have 48 of them on the lead lap. So they'll need to gone down 8 with about 50 to go. Who knows what's going to happen by the end of this race. What we do know is that we do have a few drivers who have retired here tonight. Zach Allen, Travis Murgaard, Evan Amick, Zach Groover, and Charles Van Scoik look like they are not a part of the race anymore due to damage. So hate to see that out of some of these guys. And Charles, such a big factor. He's still on the track. Actually, is Charles on the track? No, he's not on the track. He is in the pits. So still maybe trying to get some points out of it if he can. Because who knows what's going to happen. But
that's right.
Here we go. Green flag about to drop here with 47 out of 100 complete, coming to 48, led by the 052 of Mr. Brad Slagle. Green flag back in the air as this odd car pack all dives into turn 1. You already see some guys starting to make their way to the bottom side of the track. That is 20 in the 06. Garrett Johnson and Chris Worrell.
Ooh, lots of movement through the field as these guys, in fact, you see the 84 just dropped out, the 08 dropped out. You know, they're just, with all that dancing going on, maybe, you know, it's better to kind of take a different position, drop back a little bit, and keep my car running versus get caught in something up front.
Yep, and you've seen innocent bystanders getting caught up in some. So you never know when the levee will break when it comes to this pack racing. And that's the beauty of it, and that's also the fear of it. That's why some guys love it. Some guys hate it. Some guys wish they could only stay in the back and, you know, never see the front because they just want to make it through the race. And then you have some guys who are aggressive. I'm just going to get to the front. I'm going to win the race. So each one of those different kind of drivers is in this pack. And looking at through the field right now, the entire field is separated by about seconds with the new leader, the 06 of Chris Worrell on the high side. And that's what you could do. You could get this high line rolling if you have enough driver behind you in that lane. So they're making that high line work.
Solid showing with that outside line. They are just leveraging that and moving themselves up in front of that low line. Usually that's the opposite, but here they've got it hooked up. Really some great drafting by Worrell, Lowe, Woodrum, Coney Sturgill, Ty Bostic, Ryan Cook. Looks like that's the 23 of Van Squake coming out of the pits. Getting back up on the track.
Shout out to him. You got to get as many points as you can because you don't know, what's going to happen. The entire field could wreck. I wish that not to happen. I promise.
We're not jinxing the field. That's not our intent.
No. I want to see this thing go green, but it could happen. You never know. That's super speedway racing. That's Daytona. So him getting back out on the track is only helping his cause to maybe get some points.
Just a great racing here. This is a big pack to be running side by side like this. Guys are doing a great job putting it together. Chris Worrell continues to show us the lead with the 07 of James Lowe tucked in behind him. Right there, Pete Woodrum as well, and Ty Bostic right there. Although we did see the 46 just drop to the low line. He dropped in front. Taking this opportunity to move up closer to the front of the field. And just as we said that, it all changes. So as we've come to expect at Super Speedway, the leads change, the lines change faster than we can call it out.
And that's, again, the beauty of this series. It's the beauty of Super Speedway racing. Yeah, everything can change in the blink of an eye. You can see the field just dancing out of turn 2.
Brisserell continues to show us the lead. Ty Bostic is now leading that outside line. He's got Christoph Hall tucked in behind him. And I think Sammy Harrell has also made his way up there as well.
Yeah, good running for that number 43 machine. And if you're looking for maybe a Richard Petty diecast, if you're looking for somebody else's diecast that's your favorite driver, go check out Goat Racing Diecasts, a partner here for the Tech for Troop Cup Series. They have amazing diecasts on display, and they have amazing opportunities. And so we got some codes for you as well. So Goat Racing 43 is one of them that you can use.
Really, any of the drivers who are part of that Goat Racing team, you've got a chance to enter your number in at the end and collect that 30% discount.
Yeah, that's awesome. 30% off all orders over $50. It's a heck of a deal, especially with some of the stuff they have. I have a hard time not spending all my money with them. I mean, it's tough. They have some really cool stuff. So that's Goat Racing, all caps with 43. And the other numbers, Rick, do we have those? Just so we have that available.
We don't
80?
have, I guess we have
the 80.
No, I think you're looking at probably Van Squake, which would be the 23.
Yeah, the 23.
Cody Sturgill. Cody's in the 64. Maurice Burnett. Maurice is in the 8.
8. That's what I was thinking of.
Ryan Cook in the 46. Those are all the drivers I know of. And the 98 is Christoph Hall as well.
Speaking of that 98, he's up there in that high line, getting a big push from the 43.
Got some good teammates working together there.
You got 3 teammates all right there together, I believe. You have the affiliate driver, I have Colin Garrett, I believe. 5th car on the top row. And yes, I believe that is true. No, Colin Garrett's all the way in the back. Who is that on the top row?
The 07, the 98 is Christoph Hall. 07's James Lowe.
07. That's who I was.
Nope. Definitely, it's a movement happening
Yeah.
right there in the middle.
That was the 64 and the 23, 2 teammates, and then the 46 and 72 also. A lot of GOAT racing cars. A lot of sponsorships with that logo on the front. It's hard to tell who's who.
Well, we're doing our best to try and keep up what's happening mid-pack here.
Rick, we are approaching 40 laps to go here soon. We're going to start thinking about pit stops. Got to think about what you're going to do as a team as the field storms out of turn 4. But we got the 74 now, making his way to the bottom line, getting a push by Mr. Alonzo King. Now, keep in mind, Alonzo King, he is a very skilled driver. He made a big splash last year. He's coming in here looking for vengeance there in the number 80 machine. So we'll see what he can do. And that 74, that is Ryan Andrews, newcomer to the league, making his name known early on. Hey, watch out. I can win.
Yeah, he's pushed him all the way up to the front for sure. And he wound up leading a lap.
And then right behind the 80 of the 27 and the NB Sports of Jeff Narin and Ty Bostic. Oh, we're getting a little squirrely. Big checkups happening.
So Ryan Andrews and Alonzo King are also part of the same team, and we are wrecking.
Yep, that's I believe the 99 and the 40, if I'm not mistaken. I know it was Jeff Nani. When all that happened, Rick, the whole field stacked up, and I think that affected the 40 of Jeff.
Well, let's go back and take a look. Be with us as we try to search for this incident. Well, I think we found it.
Yes, we did. It was a 41, my mistake. Oh, and the 40, okay, and the 49. All 40s.
So I'm trying to figure out, you said that was the 49?
Yes. Right up ahead, I believe. The 41 and the 49, Ryan Walter and David Lockrow.
Okay, let's just take this real quick. So the field stacks up. It looks like the 49 backs up a little bit. 41 gets into him, into the wall. They stay on the wall. Jeff Denis comes up, and unfortunately, the 49 came down right in front. They had no place to go. And back up and really catches the 41 of Lockrow.
And there's John Ledger in the 40 getting into it.
Yeah, the 19 and the 40 are getting involved. All right. Well, the entire field has made their way back down onto pit road. This is lap 61 of 100. I'm not really sure this will not be enough to finish the race with. So they will. I'm guessing it's maybe one more pit stop. 20 or so.
Definitely
laps.
one more. Yeah, I would make this. I would go as long as you could on this stint because of the fact that we could have some green-white checkers. And so with that, we know at least we will have 3 full-speed laps, more than likely, if we have 3 green-white checkers and then all the laps under caution. So I would split this up. I would come down in the next 25 laps from now so you have enough in the back end so you don't have to worry about fuel there. So, car going hard left. Don't know what that was about. Taking a little detour up at the top of the screen.
Yep. He was probably
going
for ice cream.
Hey, why not? The track's big enough. You can't go. I mean, you could go a lap down, but why not? Stick your hand out. Somebody may give you an ice cream cone.
All right, 61 laps are in the books. 39 laps to go. We'll probably get that go with about 37 laps left to finish this event. Again, thank you for tuning in to the IWM Broadcast Network here, bringing you the Tech for Troops Cup Series. This is our 4th season now with IWM and Tech for Troops. We actually run a split season. So this year, 2024, we'll actually run Season 4 and Season 5. It's divided to give the drivers a chance to take a break in between the seasons, do a little family stuff, get in the holidays, but we run about a 20 race season here with approximately 16 races under the normal conditions, and then we move on to the playoffs.
Correct. Yep.
And we do that twice a year, and there's an all-star race mixed in the middle there, so stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date as to what's happening, and as well as our season. So I'm trying to go back, and before we go back to green flag racing, just to give those who are listening an update as to where we will be in Season 4. So here with our race opener, we are here at Daytona, and then the second race of the season, we are at Kansas.
It's going to be a fun race out there. Always a good time. And it puts on a really great show for everybody watching along. So make sure to our next races and follow along the entire season. turn on that notification bell so you don't miss a broadcast and a race. We'll be live every Wednesday night.
Well, with one
here
exception.
Yep.
That's right. We will be taking off Valentine's Day, so the drivers can spend the time with their significant other. So,
of course, you have to. So, with that being said, we're about to go green flag racing, and make sure to tune in almost every Wednesday night at 8:30 or Eastern Time, 7:30 Central. We'll be bringing you the Tech for Troop Cup Series here on the IWM Broadcast Network. Green flag is back out in the air, led by Alonzo King and Chris Worrell, and big stack up on the bottom lane as the field separates quite a bit, actually. A little bit of a separation there from the first 10 cars, and then the Hornet's Nest about 10th on back.
kind of scrolling back a bit to kind of see what's happening even further back in the field. And there's that big change as you drop off of turn 2 out of that backstretch. The cars just wiggle, and you've seen that quick group here. That's the 07 of James Lowe, Chris Worrell, and Ty Bostic come together and jump right ahead. Of course, Alonzo King is right there on the tail.
And here's the moves. Here we go.
Yep.
You start to see some of these guys moving around. And that 06 is right on the back bumper of that 07. He has not left his bumper basically for an entire lap now.
So one of the biggest challenges you can see here is that when you're behind that driver and you're actually tapping the back of his bumper, it's easier to do on that straight, on that backstretch, but these guys have got it down where they're actually being able to bump draft all the way through some of these corners.
Obviously, wrecking Alonzo,
Right
big
in
wreck.
front.
We got the big one at Daytona. Oh my goodness, that is the entire field.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Rick.
So your leaders, James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Ty Bostic, they're wondering where the rest of the field is gone. Well, they are, if you can see our broadcast software, it is one big red mess in the back.
Wow. I can't believe what we just saw. That was probably a 30-car wreck here at Daytona. I don't think we need to dissect anything. I think we just let it play out a couple times.
Yeah.
Because I don't even know where we could start. I know the 80 looked like he got turned or got loose in the middle of the corner in 3 and 4. That caused the entire wreck.
Yeah, I am looking at the start of this, and I'm still searching.
It was definitely, I believe, at the start of turn 3. Start of turn 3 on lap 64, I believe.
Let's see if if this is the right spot.
We need to go up even more. Because Alonzo King is that very top car on the top lane up against the wall.
So it's like he was caught in the wall and came down and then collected everybody.
I mean, everybody. I mean, there's 12 cars right there, and then the rest of the field just stacks up. Great job, some of the guys making it through, but you got to see what's behind these guys. Not even half of it. Oh, a little bit of contact. We need to go to a blimp shot. Take a look at this one. Everybody on YouTube probably was like, oh my gosh, what the heck just happened? I mean, you just have nowhere to go. I mean, you got cars in the back spinning. I mean, 20 car pile up, still wrecking.
Some guys drove their way through it, and specifically the 69 of Colin Garrett, I think, survived pretty well.
He definitely did, and, you know, really quick, Jesse Vaughn just said, watch my onboard. So if we can, Rick, let's go to Jesse Vaughn if we can.
All right,
He
hang
just
on.
said that, see if we can bring in Mr. Vaughn's cam. Where do you go?
Right? No place to go.
I mean, just a parking lot. Just an absolute parking lot in the middle of 3 and 4. Still wrecking cars going backward. Just a mess. So after all that, Rick, looking at who we have on the lead lap, 38 cars on the lead lap, 6 cars 1 lap down, 2 cars 2 laps down, 1 car 4 laps down, and 2 cars 5 laps down. The rest are 13 laps down or more. So still a full field, still battling here, but took out a lot of good contenders. You got Alonzo King, Luke Bullard up there, David Watts, Ryan Andrews, Ryan Walter, Doug Lockrow, Jeff Narin, Marco Berube. A lot of solid guys.
Well, and that's, you know, we've come to expect that we would have the big one here at these super speedways because things just happen so quickly and there's no way out. Now, one of the things that this league does that's different from others, which is closer to reality, is that there's no do-over. There's no opportunity to just, you know, reset the car and go back out with the fresh car. Now, that makes you drive a little bit more cautious, but one of the things you can't control is just what you saw here. You could be that fabulous driver who is charging back to the front, but you're caught up in an incident like this, and it's unfortunate. And things happen, tempers flare. We've seen that already.
We have. Well, we'll see what happens now. 7th caution, but we are back under green. Green flag racing back here at Daytona. 32 laps to go, and a big jump for the 07. Looks like everybody's kind of spreading out now. We knew, and we've seen that happen many times before, where you have a big wreck, everybody decides to spread it out just a little bit because of what just happened. Now, at the end of it, it's going to be every man for himself. Big pack, but right now, everybody is minding their own P's and Q's about one straightaway apart from the first car to the last car in that pack. .42 looks like he is coming down pit road. Is that for a penalty? I will tell you in a second. Yes, 42 has a black flag, and he is serving that black flag right now. I believe, is that for, I don't know why that is. Looks like he has a black flag, and it looks like John Ledger and Derek Cook might also have black flags. It's what I see from iRacing. Now, I don't know if that means they have served them or not. Yep, it does show that they still have black flags. John Ledger.
Well, they've got just so many laps to serve those, or they'll wind up, unfortunately, getting disqualified. So, and very often that happens with wrecks like that, where you've got, you know, passing under caution, or you've got, you may have had to bail out onto pit road. but often those get cleared by admins or something like that. But well, here we are, 70 laps to go. 70 laps in the books, 30 laps to go. Oh, car dropped off. That's
31 machine.
Yep. Good night.
Oh, we're getting squirrely up there in the middle of this pack around Jesse Vaughn. That's Sammy Harrell and his other goat racing friends there getting a little loose. We've seen it a lot, Rick. I think a little bit more than I was anticipating.
Yeah, no, I've seen it before here with this new package. It's the cars are a little bit more unsteady, and especially coming out of the exits of 4 and 2, it just tends to snap a little bit. It's not terrible, not like the old days, but you definitely have to be aware of it. I see the old days. What we were talking about before is that we were running in leagues where here the setup of the car is already pre-made for the driver. Everybody gets the same setup. That's what you run. In the past, we can run in leagues where the setup is you create it. You have every option to change that car and that setup, and sometimes it's great and it works out that you've got a great, fast, stable setup. Often, it's not, and you just deal with what you got.
You absolutely do. And, looking right now, there's a new driver that's kind of emerged his way up into this front pack. It's the 69 machine of Colin Garrett. Now, if that name sounds familiar, yes, it is the Colin Garrett, the part-time Xfinity driver for the 07 of SS Greenlight Racing. He's been a part of a lot of other series as well, the TC America series. For Paul in his BMW M2. So had a lot of success there. Great to have that kind of driver and caliper in here. And that's the beauty of this, Rick. You have drivers literally that is racing part-time in the Xfinity series all the way to somebody who's been on the platform, for under a year. And that just shows you the level of skill and also the diversity when it comes to who we have here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series.
So some new names in the top 10, and we'll kind of run through that. James Lowe, Chris Worrell up front, Ty Bostic, Garrett Johnson, Nate Harper, Lilith Peters, Harley Barletta in 7th, Maurice Burnett in 8th, Sammy Harrell 9, and Zach Ward in 10th. So new names this year, James Lowe, Nathan Harper, Lilith Peters. Those are all new to the series, and they're in the top 10.
Yeah, it's. You said in the earlier part of the broadcast, we have a third of the drivers that are let's call them rookies. A third of the drivers are rookies here, as you see it.
That car is a.
Yeah, that car is a little bit.
Well, caution's out.
Skewed. And it is. What has happened here? It looks like the 73 and the 27 and the 40. No, maybe a little bit further ahead. I'm trying to look at my map.
I don't know what brought out that caution. Let's. Oh.
So that's the 16 machine. David P. Sharon. And behind him, I believe that's Van Scoik.
It is, yep. Trying to take a shot from the Van Scoik machine. Get the 46 down low. You got the 7 there. Click some contact with the 16 and the 23. 23 came down almost into the 46. The 40 slips by. Does he stay by? Or does that 39?
Oh, no.
So the 39 came up.
I think they kept it going in the right direction. Jeff, no.
Yep, that's
Hard
unfortunate.
impact.
Yep. Yeah, that's the 39, probably not realizing that car is above. Well, it is that time with 25 laps to go. Everybody has hit the pit. Not everybody. A couple have stayed out, and this may be strategic. So you got Colin Garrett and Jesse Vaughn who stayed out and took an opportunity to get track position.
And that's the gamble you play here. You have two very different strategies. Do you come down now? Do you wait? I mean, I would try to get as much gas in this thing as I can. Even if we had to come down another time, that just means the less fuel we have to put in the next time we come down pit road. So with 25 to go, that is right at the fuel window, I believe. It's going to be close at the end of this race. If we have one more caution, they all should be good. They all should come down. But 25 to go, it's going to be very, very tight on fuel. But right now, Rick, you have Colin Garrett up front, Jesse Vaughn, James Lowe, Chris Worrell, Garrett Johnston, Ty Bostic, Lilith Peters, Harley Barletta, Sammy Harrell, and Maurice Burnett, all there in the top 10.
And Colin Garrett and Jesse Vaughn did not pit. Everybody else did. So they're banking that they're going to be one more stop, and they took this chance to get up front.
Do what you got to do. That's at this point
right.
in the race. You can only do so much, and if getting track position is the best thing you can do, go for it.
Well, currently we are under caution here, and with 24 laps to go, the lights are off on the pace car, which means next time by, we will get the green flag, which means we will have 23 laps to go to decide the winner here. There is a car stopped on pit lane. Not sure who that is, but he may be waiting to join the end of the longest line as the field begins to form back up. There will be 23 laps to go at the green. So John, could be back doing this again.
Absolutely love it. It's I've missed it, and excited to have all these new people watching on all our various platforms. And all the new drivers, we got some new sponsors, and gonna have a great, I'll call it 2024 season 1 for the 2024 season. Our 4th overall, but season 4, season 5. But this is our first one for this year. We got a lot going on here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. You have the field. Let's play out the last couple seasons. We've broadcasted every single season, every single race. The talent and the skill and the competitiveness keep on rising to where anybody can win a race on any given weekend. It's not about, this driver is going to win 6, 7 in a row. It's anybody's game. It's just fun to call the races and be back up here in the booth with you, Rick. And we hope you all are enjoying it at home, watching along.
All right, pace car has dropped off. We're about to go back to green flag racing. Colin Garrett is in charge, and off we go.
Big stack up on the bottom lane. I saw about 4 or 5 cars slam on their brakes. And we're still good, but the driver I was speaking of earlier, the part-time NASCAR Xfinity Series driver for SS Greenlight Racing, Colin Garrett, is now up in the high line, getting next to his friend, Mr. Jesse Vaughn.
So he's getting a good push from Jesse.
Pace seem to have been working together all race long. So
Yep.
not entirely unexpected from that camp.
That puts James Lowe back up front. He's got Chris Worrell right behind him. And if you want to have someone that's pushing you that's good behind you, you can't do any better than Chris Worrell.
Absolutely. He's won a handful of races here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series. Always a threat to win. Has one of the highest I ratings within the series.
You've got the 20 of Garrett Johnson behind them. Ty Bostic has stayed up front. You know, he started off on our pole, but he is right here in fourth place position. That's consistency, John. That's what you want to see in a race like this.
Exactly. And I think he is trying to make up for last season a little bit. You know, he had some of the races kind of slip away. But I think he's ready to get back into it and to make it known that NB2 is going to be here and it's going to be a presence. I mean, they were arguably the best team all season long. Him, Luke Bullard, and Jeff Narin, especially on super speedways, they knew how to get it done. So great to see that 22 running up front.
All right, 21 laps to go.
I'm watching some aggressive pushing going on in this top lane. Got to be careful when you push these guys in the corners. Not really sure how that's going to affect their cars.
It's super easy to make a mistake just slightly off center, and you will turn that car right into the wall.
See the 43 and the 81 up in the high lane. They are pushing. Oh, a little loose there. That's what I'm talking about. And that's going to drop that 81 Charlie Barletta into the middle. Will anybody go with him? I don't think it's happening. He's trying.
Yeah, he's caught. Car in the wall on the outside. That's Freddie Durstock, who has tagged the wall. Now they're 3 wide, looking for space. Got to be careful here. That's Barletta on the outside. And Burnett, I believe, in the middle.
Yeah, they're losing massive ground to the pack in front of them. Somebody's got to prevail here, and they sort it out.
Couple cars
like
dropped below.
Yeah, I think that was Garrett and Vaughn. 69 and the 40, or 84 rather.
'43 on that outside. That is Sammy Harrell. Getting a big push from Zach Ward in the 7th, followed by, it shows as the 2, but it's actually the 47 of Kane Vandermark that's back there.
And you know, let's talk about this 7 machine of Zach Ward. He was up front, Rick. I mean, at some point in every single race, he just seems to get caught in everything. You know, he was up there all season long, so I hope he can finally get one because he has definitely been able to get there. Looks like we have some pit stops going on. We have the 84 and Colin Garrett, the 69, down on pit road. What could be their last pit stop with 17 laps to go. Should be a quick stop and go for both drivers.
Well, we knew they had pitted last on lap 60. They definitely needed fuel to go, but this should be it for them and maybe not for everybody else.
Maybe, we will see, but what a great stop from teammates right there, getting nose to tail as quick as they can. Every second and millisecond that you make up and lose on pit road could be the difference of a tenth or maybe 5 or maybe even a full second on the track, which could move it loose there out of some cars in the big pack, but could be the difference between whether you get back up to the front of this thing or you end up settling for a 15th place position. So they are the first takers right now.
Back up front, James Lowe continues to show us the way. He's got the 6 of Chris Morrell behind him. That outside lane is led by the 43 of Sammy Harrell, followed by the 7 of Zach Ward. And I just checked the stats, John. Kane Vandermark is supposed to be in the 2. That's just maybe a typo issue within iRacing, showing him as the 47. He's got the right paint and the right number. You'll see Kane in the 2 all season.
Folks, we have approached 15 laps to go here, and we have 2 distinct packs formed up right now. You have a pack of about 8 cars, 9 cars right there, followed by a pack of about 5 and 6, and then a pack of about 10 behind them, you have a big question mark. I don't know where the other packs have gone, but they are there. There it is. Just to give you an update, you have 32 cars on the lead lap right now. Top 25 separated by 8 seconds. Top 21 separated by 3 seconds. Top 13.
Right up
Two's
front.
around.
Two's around. Oh, and more contact.
Oh, no.
It's a 22 of Bostic, I think.
Yeah, Ty did not
99.
see.
Yeah.
Ty did not see that car at all.
Maurice Burnett, 99 involved. Let's back that up a little bit. So,
Oh, was it Ty again?
well, you had the 46 that I think has stayed to the low side and made everybody go 3 wide. That made it super hard for these guys to figure out where they needed to be. Let's kind of crawl along a little bit here. So you got a 22 that's now in the middle between the 46 and the 2. The 2 came up, and that's net code.
He's loose.
But that's still net
I think
code.
he was loose before the net code, though.
The 2?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously see he went around. Oh, I could see it. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
I think that unfortunately it's the simulation that kind of caught up, and unfortunately added to this wreck. Yep.
And then let's go back up to Bostic, or he got some contact with some of those other drivers there in the top lane, and unfortunately, I think it was the 1 machine.
See if I can highlight it. The challenge is with as many drivers on this track, it's hard to keep up. Let's go back to the 22.
I just didn't think he saw him.
We'll just let this run through at normal speed. So Pete Woodrum in the 1 that gets into the... I think it was like they bounced off each other.
Yeah, I mean, the 22 definitely came up from the apron, but yeah, didn't have any clue.
Contact with the 1, the 22. Yeah. Well, I will say this, it's super speedway racing. Things like this happen all the time.
Oh yeah, he had no clue that there. Yeah, and because the spotters are only as good as what the technology can detect. He probably didn't have any kind of indication because it was under caution. That was a car and he was outside.
Well, with 13 laps to go, very interesting strategy because that put Jesse Vaughn and Colin Garrett up front. They went in. You saw that they pitted off cycle. We saw them under that green flag conditions go into the pits. go in and come out as a team, and then that wreck happened a lap or so later. They got to stay out. The rest of the field came in, and they're up front. Now, Austin Habel is right there, but Austin finished last on lap 75. I don't know if he has enough fuel.
It's going to be close. I mean, he has a couple cautions to help him out a little bit, but still, or I guess one, it's going to be close.
12 laps to go here in Daytona, Season 4, Race 1. I just saw that Lilith Peters may have crashed under caution. That could be just a glitch in the software. Let's go back and look real quick.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Trying to find that car number. Go. Let's go back real quick and just see what. Oh no, she just stopped, or I'm assuming it's she just stopped on coming off of pit road, waiting for her opportunity to get in line.
I would assume that is correct.
Yep. All right, lights are still on as we get this field formed back up. 31 cars are still on the lead lap. Jeff Nini is the first car a lap down, as shown on the board.
And Rick, let me ask you this. Where would you want to be right now? If you're to be at the front, you want to be at the back? And if you're in the back, when do you make the move?
Too late. Backs, it's with 10 laps to go at the stripe. You've got to be in the top 10 or you are toast. You know, it's pretty much all or nothing. So if you're thinking, well, I don't want to be up front because I could get wrecked out at the start finish line, you know, it is what it is. That's where you need to be. You're not gonna make up 20 spots in 10 laps.
Well, you can. You know how?
Yeah, everybody wrecks in front of you.
Well, no. Your name has to be Dale Earnhardt, of course.
Okay, and there's a little bit of bumper applied as you go around.
He did go from a little bit further in the back of the pack to win the race at Talladega. It's not impossible, but just not very likely here at Daytona.
Right. But, you know, great opportunity for Jesse Vaughn and Colin Garrett right there at the front.
Yeah, they can lock themselves in.
Yep. So lights are off. Thanks for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. This is our first broadcast of the season. And we appreciate you tuning in. That's what makes it worthwhile for us and this team that puts this together each and every week.
And here we go. 10 laps to go at Daytona. 30-plus cars on the lead lap. Anybody can win it. Green flag back in the air, led by Jesse Vaughn, Austin Habel, Colin Garrett, Sammy Harrell, Garrett Johnston, your top 5.
Chris Worrell is up there on that outside. You got the 6, the 07, and the 06 on that outside line. That's worked all day if they can keep it together.
And a caution's out all the way in the back, Rick.
Rodney Uberpacker, I think, is unfortunately got involved in something. That's the 32 of Rodney. We'll take a quick look.
I thought I saw a checkup happen. Oh no.
No, it was a 98. The 32 got collected.
Man, that was the hard hit.
The 32, the 98. The 41 also got some incidental damage as well. So, number of drivers caught up in that.
That reminded me of Ryan Blaney's wreck coming out of turn 4 last year at Daytona. Just getting clipped, and next thing you know, you're going head first into the safer barrier. It's not a fun sight.
No, not at all. So here we are. Jesse Vaughn is currently showing in the lead position with 9 laps to go, but he's caught up to the pace car. The challenge is here, John, that by the time this caution is done, unless the admins advance the session, we could wind up with just 5 laps to go.
Do a green-white checkered, you're saying?
It's quite possible. That's correct.
I will agree with you. Also, we do have we should be fine. We should be able to do 10 laps in 30 minutes. We do have time constraints just due to the iRacing servers. We have 2 hours and 20 minutes to complete this race. Right now, we literally, as I'm speaking, just passed the hour 50 mark in the race, which means we have 30 minutes left. So we should be fine on that perspective from the server perspective. So if you've watched along, don't think we're not going to get to the interviews. That doesn't even count towards the total watch time of the race. We will cover your top 3 podium finishers, the winner, second and third, once this race concludes. So right now, I think you're right. We're probably going to get maybe 6 to go, coming to 5, maybe 7 coming to 6. But right now, looking at the lineup, I mean, you have Jesse Vaughn didn't win a race last year. You have the 69, Colin Garrett didn't win a race last year. Austin Abel, 6, didn't win a race last year. You know, a lot of these guys are trying to get their first win here in the Tech for Troop Cup Series.
This is the time to get it. If you can knock it out in the first event, then you can coast your way into the playoffs. All right, looks like the 19 got a wave around. That's the Jesse Vaughn 84 currently showing out in front. Field has not formed quite back up yet, but we'll do that with one more lap as we'll go probably 1 to go at the stripe.
And Rick, looking at the track map in the top right-hand corner, you can see a lot of drivers did not come down pit road, but a lot did. I'll say a few. Let me rephrase. A few did.
Well,
so I'm curious how many came out, or how many stayed out on pit road, or stayed on the track. Some came down to top off. Obviously, some involved in that incident, of course.
So the top 2, Jesse Vaughn and Colin Garrett, pitted last, we know, on lap 83. Austin Habel on lap 75. He did not come down at all. But after that, pretty much everybody else did come down on lap 87, between lap 87 and lap 90.
Well, it's too late now. You're at the front of this pack. You are in this to win it. That is the only goal that those 2 front machines there, those 2 who've been working together all race long, the 84 and the 69, looking to maybe get a win to lock themselves into the playoffs.
Well, you've got the 43. That's the on the GOAT Racing team. That's right there. That's Sammy Hare. We saw him win last season. He's right there. You've got others there. Chris Worrell is up front. James Lowe, who is also, we saw early on, leading laps here. So there's a lot of guys who are sitting in the top 7, 8 who could be out front.
They absolutely could, and could be out front to win a race. I mean, we've seen these races come down to literally the last few feet, last corners. I remember we called a race last year. It was either Daytona or Talladega, Rick, where the whole field wrecked out of 4, and I think 2 or 3 cars made it all the way through, and that had major playoff implications. So it's definitely time to go now for these guys here up at the front. And if you're in the back, you're just, hoping and praying something happens in front of you. But Rick, here we go. 7 coming to 6 laps to go. Pace car makes their way down. Green flag back out in the race with 30 cars on the lead lap. 2 teammates, quote unquote, there stacking up.
'43 dropped down. The 6 of Chris Morrell stayed up high for a while, but now has dropped down. He's got the 7 of Zach Ward behind him. That's your top 5 cars up front, the 84, 69, 43.
And you're seeing, Rick, what hasn't happened all race long until literally when I just started talking. The whole field almost got into single file, and now moves being made. The 06 at the top, the 7 at the top, and the 7. And here we go. 4 or 5 laps to go. Oh, 7's low. No caution yet. He's back on the track. All good, I believe. Or the 7 on the track. The 5 is actually who that is. That's Freddie Durstock. Was able to keep it going forward.
84 continues to lead. He's got the 69 of Colin Garrett behind him. The 43 of Sammy Harrell down low. The 06 is up high with the 7 of Zach Ward. And the 07 behind him, that is James Lowe.
Pushing going on all throughout this pack, coming
Contact.
down. Yeah, we're getting tight. It's becoming a shove fest. 06, Chris Worrell to the lead with 4 laps to go at Daytona. You have a pack of about 20 cars, nose to tail. High lines prevailing, though, Rick.
Yeah, we saw that earlier with the 06 and the 7. They were running that high line earlier and setting some pretty good times. Now what do you do if you're the 07s? You drop low, and there's the 29. That's William Mann Jr. He's figuring, we haven't called his name much, but now when you need to call it, he is up there in the top 5.
Yep, and that 07 went down to the bottom to get in front of the 7. A little early for that move. I'd like to see that move coming out of turn 4 the last lap.
Bostic,
but here we go.
Also up high. He has survived some of those earlier incidents to live and fight another day.
Oh.
Now up here, top 10. Chris Worrell continues to show us the way. 07 of James Lowe tucked in behind him. William Mann Jr. now up to 3rd.
And Jesse Vaughn now up to the high side, leaving his 69 teammate, quote-unquote, down there at the bottom, getting a big shove from the 7 of Garrett, Zachary Ward.
Big move. The 07 got caught in between as the 6 came up to try and stall the high line.
Oh, we're beating and banging now. 3 wide in the tri-oval, 2 laps to go. We're wrecking. Maybe not. No, we're still green. We're still green. Amazingly, but Jesse Vaughn is back out front. Is that too early of a move? Well, I don't know. Oh, Colin Garrett's loose. Able to save it.
Still safe, still green. 84 up front. Jesse Vaughn, 7 works his way around to the high side. That's Zach Ward. He's got the 06 behind him, the 43 of Harrell underneath the 84. Making a move tight. We're coming to the white flag. Final lap here at Daytona.
Who is it going to be? Who's going to make the move?
Looking for more help from that 43, but that high line has been exploiting it all day. The 06 is on the bumper. Oh, the 7 goes low. He saves it. Oh, no. The 84
What a save.
caught.
Oh, Jesse Bond sideways.
Big
It's a drag
wreck.
race. It's a drag race between the 07 and the 7, or the 06 and the 7. The 7 needs to wait until the exit of 4 to make the move. Here he goes. What is he going to do? He's going to the high side. Go low. He's going to the low side. Zach Ward inside. Drag race, Rick. Who's it going to be? Is it going to be Chris Worrell? Is it going to be Zach Ward? It is going to be Chris Worrell wins. What a finish.
Chris Worrell at the line, battling Zach Ward, wins the Tech for Troops season opener here at Daytona. There is going to be some unhappy guys who got caught up in that earlier incident. I know that there are a number of drivers who are not pleased at how that played out.
I mean, can we talk about, the save of the race, the 7 machine going sideways, getting basically not spun, but getting contact from the 06 and then saving it to potentially win the race, comes out finishing second. What a run for that number 7 machine. But there's your winner, Chris Worrell. Brings home the win in the season opener. And they look like teammates.
Yeah, with the 07, that's James Lowe. All right, let's see if we've got. We do. Let's get the race results.
Alrighty. That wraps it up. Stay tuned for interviews with your podium finishers, which are Chris Worrell bringing home the win with Zach second, James Lowe in third, William Mann Jr. Nice run there in P4. P5, Ryan Pittman. 6 is Joey Doucette. Ian Ogden in 7th, Justin Horton in 8th, Philip Vandertwick in 9th, and Brad Slagle rounds out the top 10.
11, Jamie Dunning. 12, Derek Cook. Jesse Vaughn finishes in 13th. Ty Bostic in 14th. 15 is Nathan Harper. 16th, Freddie Durstock Sr. and Garrett Johnson in 17th. In 18th, Colin Garrett. 19th, Semi Harrell. Christoph Hall. Oops, just missed that. Is in 20th. Craig Meyer finishes in 21st. Cody Sturgill, 22nd. Austin Habel in 23rd. Mike Slander, 24th. And Brian Johnson, 25th.
In 26th, Jeremy Flanagan. 27th, Aaron Jackson. Rodney Eberpacker, 28th. Jeff Ninny, 29th. And Harley Barletta in 30th. David Watson, 31st. Lilith Peters in 32nd. John Ledger in 33rd. Ryan Walter in 34th. Doug Lockrow in 35th. Maurice Burnett, 36th. 37th, you have Luke Bullard, David P. Sharon in 38th. Kane Vandemark in 39th. And Jeff Narin rounds out the top 40.
Josh Kelleher in 41st, Ryan Cook in 42nd, Zach Groover 43rd, Pete Woodrum 44, Marco Bruby 45th, Mark Hanna 46th, 47th, David Clayman, Charles Van Scoik 48th, Bobby Gibson 49th, 50th, Ryan Andrews 51st, Alonzo King 52nd, Sean Skytman, Ethan Thompson 53rd, Evan Amick 54th, Travis Murgard in 55th, and Zach Allen 56th. That ends the field. Let's go back up to our winner, and let's look and see if we can find James Lowe, if he can join us in the booth.
I believe he can. I think we got all 3 of those guys.
All right, congratulations, James, on your P3 finish.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. It was fun, chaotic, but it worked out somehow there.
Well, James, this is the first time I think we've had a chance to speak to you. Tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in Tech for Troops.
Yeah, I'm 44 and ex-Coast Guard veteran. So, yeah, just been racing with Chris a lot. And actually, we used to race with Elliot and them in another league a few years back. So I knew him that way. But Chris has been running it a little bit last year. So he talked me into coming in to run it with him this year. And it worked out pretty good for us today.
I'll say it sure did. You guys were definitely up front for a number of laps today, but great to have you, and looking forward to seeing you more this season. Any shout-outs tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost, want to shout out my buddy Chris. Great win, and I'm glad one of us got it. We were up front all day, so it was good that one of us got it. And my Aunt Mary Alice, I know she's out there watching on the YouTubes, and you guys for putting this on, and Elliot for letting me come race first off, because that's pretty cool. And Tech for Troops.
You got it. All right, that's your third place finisher, James Lowe, and we'll bring into the broadcast booth your second place finisher. Zach, you get the award for the best save of the night, I think.
Yeah, man, that was pretty crazy. I felt bad that I took all those cars out behind me, but I mean, I was completely crossed up just trying to keep it straight. So, but yeah, it worked out. Brought it home P2. So.
Yeah, definitely congratulations on that. We're looking back at that restart. What was going through your mind in that last? I guess we had like 7 laps to go in that last restart.
Yeah, I mean, I was just telling Chris that when I think we got like 2 to go, and I was like, I know you're a sitting duck if you're leading, but you're also not going to win from third on the bottom. So that's when I took that run and went to the top. And then, I mean, I felt good leading the top lane because I would be able to block the bottom, but just with when I got loose, I mean, it was just out of my hands from there. So, but it was awesome to race it clean there at the end of the finish. So I don't mind losing like that.
Absolutely. Well, again, congratulations. Any shout out tonight?
Yeah. So shout out to my teammates, Freddie and Kane. We tried to link up tonight to try to get together to get to the front, but just incidents. I mean, just typical Daytona stuff. So yeah, them, and then shout out to my spotter, my pops, Mark Ward.
All right, congratulations again. That's Zach Ward coming in and finishing in P2. And we want to congratulate our winner, Chris Worrell. Chris, heck of a win tonight.
Rig Salsa, how you doing there, brother?
Doing good.
Yeah, I think I'm doing a little bit better, man. That was awesome.
I think you are. So let's be honest. You get out there. It's opening night here, first race of the season. It's at Daytona, even more challenging. And then you look to the field and you see there are 56 entries.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that at all. Yeah, that's pretty wild. That's a lot of cars. I was hearing people were sharing pit stops. I think or pit stalls. That's the first race I've ever been in where, people were sharing pit stalls. So that's pretty funny. But yeah, there's a lot of people. You know, there's gonna be big turnouts for these draft races though. So it feels good to get a win here because it's never promised. That's for sure.
No, and at this point you kind of punched your ticket into the playoffs. So.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So far, me and James are gonna try and get James a win and punch his ticket, and we're just gonna keep racing hard.
Well, great showing tonight. Certainly we saw some good tandem driving between you and your teammates and also the others that were out there. Really looking forward to seeing what you guys can do going forward in the season. Any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, first and foremost to Zach for having a nice clean finish there at the end. That was pretty awesome. You don't get to finish beating and banging cleanly to the line like that. I was telling him I almost ran him over there. I think he thought I was going to go for the move. I wanted to push him to at least turn 4 until I made my move. So it was pretty awesome that he could keep it together and we could race to the line there. I'm glad he was able to do that, and I look forward to racing with him more this season. But thank you, Aunt Mary, to watching the race. My teammate James Lowe, Team Rocket Racing. I think that's our name. I'm pretty sure Team Rocket Racing. Yeah, that's it. So,
New season, new
um,
names. It's all new. So
yeah, we'll be here all season. I'll see you again there, Rick.
sounds great, Chris. All right, there's your champion tonight. That's Chris Worrell, who has won tonight's opening event here for Tech for Troops. Zach Ward came in second, and James Lowe finishes in P3. John, some thoughts about tonight's race?
What a race. I couldn't have asked for a better one to call. Glad that we were able to do this with the turnout we had on all of our social channels. Shout out to the YouTube crowd there. Great turnout. It's going to be a phenomenal season. Excited to see what Chris and his team can do and see who can battle with them. They were strong all last season, and I think we got a great season ahead of us. Next week, Rick, we're going a little bit further west to Kansas for an 150-lap shootout out that way there at Kansas Speedway. So make sure to tune in next Wednesday. That is February 7th at 8:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Central Time. See who can bring home the win at a very fun track. It's been a great track for the IWM just in general, and same thing for Tech for Troop Cup Series and all the races we broadcasted there, Rick. So look forward to that one.
All right, I want to thank again our sponsors, Tech for Troops and the Tech for Troops Cup Series, also Goat Racing Diecast. If you're looking for a diecast, you're looking for collectibles, go to goatracingdiecast.com, and there are some discounts available to you by typing in Goat Racing, as well as a discount when you buy $50 worth of diecast. So go check it out. So again, thank you for tuning in to our first of our events on Wednesday night. Tune in tomorrow night for the opening of the iNASCAR series. We'll have that brought to you live for tomorrow night. But for all of you that have tuned in, thank you. And if you can like and subscribe, we'll let you know when our next event is. So again, thank you for tuning in to the IWM broadcast of the Tech for Troops Cup Series. Good night, and we'll see you next time.
Good night, folks.